guys, my name is TechnoTuner, and today I'm bringing to you my Heraldic Onomat Genesys deck profile. This deck has a lot of capabilities of doing a lot of Xyz plays, has a lot of fun being able to really mix and mash these both together because they do have a lot of capability of making a very wide board that can help you establish board control pretty easily from the Onomat part of it being able to be more aggressive, while the Heraldic part being more of an interaction and negation aspect that you can utilize throughout the duel, whether it be from locking down your opponent's monsters from activating their effects, to popping their cards, or being able to really disrupt their plays. Now, as I will note, this deck can go under some changes. It is currently setting at 76 points, so if you want to mix and match, you do have room to fit in the Utopic package for the Utopic featured slash, I think is what it is. Either way, you can fit that in and it works really well either way. But my profile here currently does not have that, as I am more playing along the Heraldic side and trying to get the Heraldic bosses out more effectively. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into this deck profile and I'll show you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. Alright, so starting off, we're going to start off with the Heraldic package. We're playing 3 Heraldic Beast Griffin. This card is very essential because you can send 1 Heraldic Beast monster from your deck or from your deck to the graveyard, except Heraldic Beast Griffin. Special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except by Xyz summon that uses only monsters with Heraldic Beast or number in their original names as material. Can be treated as 2 materials for the Xyz summon of a number Xyz monster that requires 3 or more materials. You can only use each effect of Heraldic Beast Griffin once per turn. So, this is basically going to allow us to get into our rank 4s that require 3 materials a lot more easier for the Heraldic engine. But the one thing that we're going to be sending off of it is Heraldic Beast Leo. During the end phase of this turn, this card was normal summon, destroy this card. When this card is sent to the graveyard, add 1 Heraldic Beast monster from your deck to your hand except Heraldic Beast Leo. You can only use this effect of Heraldic Beast Leo once per turn. So pairing this with Griffin, you basically get to search for any other key piece that you need. Example being one of the 2 Heraldic Beast Stad Whale. If this card is normal or special summon, you can discard 1 card and add 2 heraldry spells or traps from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 2 Heraldic Beast monsters in your graveyard with the same name, special summon them in the defense position. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except by Xyz summon that uses only monsters with Heraldic Beast or number in their original names as material. You can only use each effect of Heraldic Beast Stad Whale once per turn. So this basically gives you the capability of getting recursion while also being able to get those necessary spells or traps that you want to run back into your hand so you can utilize it for further extension. And then the final Heraldic Beast is Heraldic Beast Eel. Now, I know this seems a little weird to be playing this one, but the only reason why I'm playing it is if you control 2 or more Heraldic Beast monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it's basically just an extender. Say you have Griffin and Stadwale on board, you can then summon Ale from your hand as a 3rd monster so you can continue your plays. That's all I have for the actual Heraldic Beast monsters, though, for the actual deck. As for the Onomat piece, we're playing 3 Dodo Warrior. That's a lot of does for those that don't know. You can send 1 Dodo monster from your deck to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. Its level becomes 4. Also, its attack becomes 1800. Also, you cannot Xyz summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Xyz monsters. If this card is detached from an Xyz monster to activate that monster's effect, you can add 1 Zubaba monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Dodo Warrior once per turn, so it can help out a lot with the extension, while it also allows us to get further plays by searching the other key pieces that we need. But we do have Utopic Onomatopoeia. The reason why I'm playing this card is because if we have any Dodo, Gagaga, Zubaba, or Dodo cards, you can basically special summon up to 1 of each. During your main phase, you can special summon up to 1 of each Zubaba, Gagaga, Gogogo, and Dodo monsters from your hand in defense position, except Utopic Onomatopoeia. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of his turn except Xyz monsters. You can only use this effect of Utopic Onomatopoeia once per turn. While it's still a normal summon, it does make a very good extender because it can allow you to get more key pieces onto the board. I'm also sorry if I mispronounce or stop for a second because my brain is taking a second to catch up with all the Dododo, Go-Go-Go, Ga-Ga-Ga, and Zubababa references here in the card names. It is a lot. Anyways, next up we have ZS Ascendant Sage. I am playing 3 of him because he's just basically, if you control no cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. A Utopic Xyz monster that was summoned using this card on the field as material gains this effect. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can add 1 rank up magic normal spell from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of ZS Ascendant Sage once per turn. While we don't run any of the rank up spells, this is still a good extender because it is a free body if you control no monsters. Next up, we're playing 2 Onomat Kage. It is a level 4 reptile that is always treated as a Zubababa, Ga-Ga-Ga, Go-Go-Go, or Dododo card. If you control a Zubababa, Ga-Ga-Ga, Go-Go-Go, or Dododo monster and this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can banish this card from your graveyard and return up to 2 Xyz monsters from your graveyard to the extra deck. You can only use this effect of Onomat Kage once per turn. While this card is really cool and a reference back to the old Onomat, I think it was the old Onomat Kage. It's another one. But basically, it's a really cool card that can be utilized with this deck to further your extension. It can be sent off Dododo Warrior to special summon Dododo Warrior. So you send it to the graveyard, and then since you have Dododo Warrior on the field, you can special summon Onomat Kage from your graveyard to the board, which can give you an extra extension. Next up, we got Go-Go-Go Goblinberg. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 non-warrior Go-Go-Go monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Then if this card is in attack position, change it to defense position. Also for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Xyz monsters. If this card is detached from an Xyz monster to activate that monster's effect, you can add 1 Dododo monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Go Goblinberg once per turn. Okay, so outside of it being another normal summon, it is a very good extension because it lets you summon one from the deck. And when it's attached by an Xyz monster's effect, you get to search for a Dododo monster, which can really help your extension. Then finally, we're playing 3 one-ofs, which are, oh god, help me, Zubababa Boncho Ga-Ga-Ga Coat, Dododo Dwarf Go-Go-Go Glove, and Ga-Ga-Ga Gambara Knight. Man, that is a mouthful. Alright, anyways, so first up, Zubababa Boncho Ga-Ga-Ga Coat. If you control a Zubababa or Ga-Ga-Ga monster except Zubababa Boncho Ga-Ga-Ga Coat, while this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card. You can target 1 Go-Go-Go or Dododo monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except the Xyz monsters. You can only use each effect as Zubababa Ga-Ga-Ga Coat once per turn. Dododo Dwarf Go-Go-Go Glove. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 Zubababa or Ga-Ga-Ga monster from your hand. If you control a Go-Go-Go or Dododo monster, except Dododo Dwarf Go-Go-Go Glove, while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Dododo Dwarf Go-Go-Go Glove once per turn. Ga-Ga-Ga Gambara Knight. You can reveal 1 Ga-Ga-Ga monster in your extra deck, special summon this card from your hand, then you can apply one of these effects. Special summon 1 Ga-Ga-Ga monster from your hand. Change the battle position of 1 monster on the field. If this card is detached from an Xyz monster to activate that monster's effect, you can add 1 Go-Go-Go monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Ga-Ga-Ga Gambara Knight once per turn. So, now that we've gotten through that whole lineup, that's all the actual Onomat monsters that I'm really running. For those that don't know what Onomat means, Onomat is a archetype in which incorporates Cha-Cha-Cha, Dododo, Go-Go-Go, Ga-Ga-Ga, and Zubababa that was used by, what's his name? It's from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. But basically it was the main protagonist along with Astral for, Yuma. For his deck, which was the Utopics. Anyways, that's all the monsters I'm really running for that. But next up, I do only run 2 Droll and Lockbird currently in this deck build. You can always add more along with adding some Nibiru's for further extension and interruption, just to really work against your opponent and give you a little bit more of an edge against them. All right. Next up is just the spells. So we're running 3 Onomat Pickup. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Onomat card from your deck to your hand, except Onomat Pickup. You can target 1 Zubaba, Gagaga, Go-Go-Go, or Dododo monster you control. All monsters you currently control become that monster's level until the end of this turn. Even if this card leaves the field, you can only use this effect of Onomata Pickup once per turn. You can only activate 1 Onomata Pickup per turn. So while we're playing 3 of that, the main reason why we're playing that is because we need to search Onomatopoeia. You can only activate 1 Onomatopoeia per turn. You send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard and add up 2 of these monsters from your deck to your hand. You cannot add 2 from the same category, so you can add either 1 Zubaba, 1 Gagaga, 1 Go-Go-Go, or 1 Dododo monster. And you can add up to 2 of them. Sorry, you can add 1 of each up to 2. So basically, you can add 1 Zubaba or 1 Gagaga, 1 Go-Go-Go, or 1 Dododo, or any other variation. Anyways, that's all that I'm running for the Onomat piece. Next up, we are just running the rest as Heraldics and being Heraldic spells. So we're playing 3 charged up Heraldry. You tribute 1 monster, special summon 2 Heraldic Beast monsters from your deck in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, except Psychic or Machine monsters. You can only activate 1 charged up Heraldry per turn. While this card is very helpful, especially if you have this plus a hand trap, you can turn that hand trap into a way to get your combo going by just tributing it off and then summoning the 2 Heraldics that you need for extension onto the board. Next up, I do play 3 Flash of Heraldry. You can cut this down to 2. The 3 comes in really helpful if you're trying to do more of a grind game state, where basically you target any number of face-up monsters your opponent controls. Those monsters' names become unknown during your end phase. If you control a Psychic Xyz monster and this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect of Flash of Heraldry once per turn. So effectively you get 6 full charges out of this, where if they book a moon or book of eclipse, you can reactivate this in a new chain once everything flips back up and change everything back to unknown. But the reason why I play 3 is because it works very well with our main boss monster, which is Heraldry Crest Dark Matter Demolition. And I'll go over that later on. But continuing on, we're playing for our final 3 cards, which are 2 Advanced Heraldry Art and 1 Heraldry Reborn. For Advanced Heraldry Art, you target 2 Heraldic Beast monsters in your graveyard, special summon both those targets. Then, immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon 1 Xyz monster using those 2 monsters only. Heraldry Reborn is basically target a Heraldic Beast monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which can help out with any kind of board issue that you have at the end, where if you need a Heraldic Beast monster to either Xyz up or to really pull back an Xyz monster that you want back on the board. Either way, it can help out greatly. Anyways, that's all I got for the main deck. Let's go ahead and hop right into the extra deck. So, for the extra deck, I am playing 1 full armored Utopic Ray Lancer. It requires 3 level 4 monsters once per turn. You can also Xyz full armored Utopic Ray Lancer by discarding 1 spell or trap and using 1 rank 4 or lower Xyz monster you control. Transfers materials to this card. Monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. At the start of the battle phase, you can negate the effects of all attack position monsters your opponent currently controls. When this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can attach 1 material from this card. It can make a second attack in a row, which can help you get a little bit more board clear onto the board to be able to do further damage or just break the board in general. Next up, we're playing 1 Traptrix Rafflesia for a defensive play. It requires 2 level 4 monsters. This card is unaffected by trap effects while it has Xyz material. Traptrix monsters you control, except Traptrix Rafflesia, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Your opponent cannot target Traptrix monsters you control, except for Traptrix Rafflesia with card effects. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can attach 1 Xyz material from this card and send 1 whole normal trap card that meets its activation conditions from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that trap card's effect when this card is activated. Now, fun fact, since this deck profile is currently not running any trap hole cards, you can cut this for anything else, whether it be another utopic monster, another Xyz monster that you would find a more professional or proficient play. Perfect example, you can run Tornado Dragon as a spell and trap pop, or if you're looking to really interact a little bit more, you can cut these Yes Sages for 3 trap holes, which could be utilized for further interaction. All right. Next up, I do play the one Gaga Cowboy because it is the obvious Gaga monster that everybody is known to play, especially back in time when time actually mattered. 2 level 4 monsters once per turn. You can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, apply this effect, depending on this card's current battle position. Attack position. If this card attacks an opponent's monster this turn, it gains 1,000 attack. Also, the opponent's monster loses 500 attack during damage step only. Defense position. Inflict 800 damage to your opponent. So, while being a burn, it can also give you a little bit extra damage to do more damage on the board and push through. Next up, we have our final remaining Utopic and Onomat cards are the Gaga Girl, the Gaga Magician, and number F0 Utopic Future Zexal. I'm going to go over each of them. Gaga Girl. 2 level 4 monsters. If this card has a Zubababa, Gaga Go, or Dododo card as material, you can attach 1 material from this card, add 1 Gaga Onomat Xyz card from your deck to your hand. You can also use this effect of Gaga Girl once per turn. A Utopic Future Xyz monster that has this card as material gains this effect. If this card is Xyz summoned, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn, which can help get a little bit extra damage on the board. Gaga Magician. Oh. 2 level 4 monsters. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 Xyz monster in your graveyard, except Gaga Magician, special summon it, but negates effects. You can only use this effect of Gaga Magician once per turn. A Utopic Future Xyz monster that has this card as material gains this effect. During your main phase, you can detach 2 materials from this card, then target 1 Xyz monster you control, and until the end phase of this turn, its attack becomes 4,000, also negates effects. So, that also gives us extra damage, and when you're doing it with Gaga Girl, you can give it 2 attacks, which can help out greatly. Number F0 Utopic Future Zexal. 2 Xyz monsters with the same rank. This card's original rank is treated as 1. Gains attack and defense equal to the combined ranks of all Xyz monsters you control and in your opponent's graveyard times 500. Your opponent's monsters cannot target monsters for attacks except this one. Also, your opponent cannot target other cards on the field with card effects once per turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect on the field, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, take control of 1 monster your opponent controls. Also, for the rest of this turn, this card cannot be destroyed by Valor card effects. So basically, as another interaction, you can steal your opponent's monster, and it could be potentially a lot bigger on the board because since we're running a lot of rank 4s. If you're running 5 rank 4s or more, it gets stupidly big. But either way, you have full capability of actually further extending with this deck outside of just these. That's all I got for the Onomat Utopic piece. Now let's hop right into the Heraldics, which is the more fun part. Now, in all honesty, you could probably cut this one for the F0 Future slash... Not Future slash. It's the F0 Utopic slash 1. Anyways, number 8, Heraldic King Genome Heritage. Requires 2 level 4 Heraldic Beast monsters. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up Xyz monster your opponent controls. This card's name and original attack become that monster's original name and current attack. Also replace this effect with that monster's original effects. Then that monster's attack becomes 0. Also, its effects are negated. This effect applies until the end phase. So it just is a good negation, and if you want to hit for a little harder, especially if they have a bigger Xyz monster on the board, you can utilize this effect pretty well to where it basically takes their effect, takes its attack, and then makes it 0 so you can just attack for further damage and getting in a lot more damage overall, especially if this monster, say, is 3k and you're playing a 2400 and changes to 3k, or if it has the ability to attack twice or pop a card, this can help out a lot. Next up, we're playing 2 number 18 Heraldry Patriarch. 2 level 4 monsters. Once per chain during either player's turn, if 2 or more monsters with the same name are on the field, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, choose 1 monster among those with the same name, destroy all other monsters with that name while this card remains face up on the field. Your opponent cannot summon monsters with the same name as any of those monsters chosen for this card's effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send 2 Heraldic Beast monsters from your deck to the graveyard. Now, note this card, along with our Flash of Heraldry, can help out greatly because we're changing all of our opponent's monsters' names to unknown. So, if they have a full board and we change them all to unknown, this makes it to where, well, okay, you can't activate your unknown effect because when you do, we're going to destroy everything else and we get to select one of those unknown monsters you get to keep. Here's the only side or downside to this deck, which is number 69, Heraldry Crest. You really have to maintain and make sure that this is the first play you're going to go and do because it can really screw you over if you're not paying attention. Requires 3 level 4 monsters. If this card is special summon, you negate the effects of all other Xyz monsters currently on the field. This is a continuous negation. It does not get its effects back during the end phase. You can target one other face-up Xyz monster on the field until the end phase. This card's name becomes that monster's original name. Also replace this effect with that monster's original effect. So you can only use this effect of number 69 Heraldry Crest once per turn. So, why are we running him if he's so bad? Well, we need him because number 69 Heraldry Crest, Shatter Stream, makes it a lot easier to be summoned because you can use also Xyz summon this card by using a monster you control whose original name is number 69 Heraldry Crest. Transfer its materials to this card. When your opponent activates a monster or effect on the field, or an opponent's monster declares an attack, quick effect, you can special summon from your extra deck number 69 Heraldry Crest Dark Matter Demolition by using this face-up card you control as material, then destroy that opponent's monster. This is treated as an Xyz summon. Transfer this card's materials. You can only use each effect of number 69 Heraldry Crest Shatter Stream once per turn. So basically it becomes a interaction pop and rank up into our last 2 cards, which are number 69 Heraldry Crest Dark Matter Demolition, which requires 5 level 4 monsters if you're doing it the hard way, or just 1 Heraldry Crest Shatter Stream. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Once per turn, quick effect. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. That monster's name becomes unknown. Negate any unknown effects activated by your opponent. That is not an activation. That is basically an, how would you classify it? More like a aura or continuous effect. While this is on board, any monster or any card that is known as unknown, it negates its effects completely. So, if you were to have, say, in a matchup I did earlier on Master Duel, when they were doing an event for this deck, I had Heraldry Dark Demolition on the board, and I made an opponent's monster, which was a Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, an unknown monster. They cannot trigger their effect to bounce it back because unknown, since it was known as an unknown, the Dark Matter Demolition made it to where it cannot activate its effects. It wasn't an activation. It wasn't anything along those lines. It's just because its name was unknown. Dark Matter made it to where it physically could not activate that effect. Anyways, guys, and that's where, before I cut myself off, this is where Flash of Heraldry comes in real handy with those cards, because you're changing as many monsters as your opponent controls to unknown, so you can negate their full board if you wanted to, if it came down to it. Alright guys, well, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys did enjoy this deck profile. I'm sorry for the amount of times I've had to say Onomat, Go-Go, Do-Do-Do, Gaga, and, oh, you get the point. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Is it okay if I'm to say I'm catching feelings from all the dealings? Am I astray? What do you say? How are you feeling? Is it the same?